Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I put one out, but I have been busy around here moving things around into a different room and getting ready for retirement here soon. But without further ado, let's get into the subject matter at hand. Now, a lot of people use different types of tape when they're taping off their Frankenstrat. And I've experimented with a few tapes, well, more than a few. And these are the tapes that I've used. I've used an 1/8 inch pinstriping tape. I've used a 1/4 inch painter's tape, blue painter's tape. I've used a 1/2 inch. It's like a gaffer tape, a 1/2 inch gaffer tape that I used. I've used a 2 inch painter's tape. Now, what I like about these types of tapes is that you can tear them into strips and bits and pieces and stuff like that and use them for like wear areas on your guitar and stuff like that. I've used a regular black, it's like a duct tape, 2 inch. I've also used a 2 inch gaffer tape, yellow gaffer tape here. And also I've used the frog tape, and I'll talk about that later. Now, this is going to be a two-parter because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be applying these tapes, these different tapes, to the body of the guitar here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that overnight, and I'm going to see which tape performs the best, which tapes I would use over other tapes. So let's go ahead and get started into it. I'm going to go ahead and put the first bit of tape down, and that's going to be the yellow gaffer tape. So I'm going to tear that into a strip, and I'm going to lay it down right here. I'm only going to put maybe about half of it on and just lay it down right there. Now, don't say anything about the guitar. I know you probably know what design a guitar this is. I am trying something different, something that I've never tried before, and you have seen the headstock of what may become of this guitar. So we got the yellow gaffer tape down. Now we're going to go ahead and put down a strip of some of that 2 inch wide blue painter's tape, and we're going to lay that down right next to. Now we want to make sure that's down completely so there is no chance of, one tape outdoing the other or whatever. And then we're going to go ahead and lay down a piece of the 2 inch black duct tape. Now, what I do like about the duct tapes and the gaffer tapes is that they tear nicely. So they leave a nice edge on your painting surface. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and lay down the 1/4 or the 1/2 inch I'm going to call it gaffer tape because that's pretty much what it is. It's just a thinner version of. And we're going to lay that right down next to the black duct tape there. Lay it all down there. Okay, next we're going to put down the 1/8" painter's tape that I got. If I get it off my finger here. And oops. Lay that down right there. Okay, so next, last but not least, we're going to put down a strip of the frog tape. Now, beware the frog tape. I've heard a lot of bad things about the frog tape. As far as bleed under is concerned. So I don't know. Maybe they just got a bad roll of frog tape or whatever. But I have not seen a whole lot of people use the frog tape. So, you know, it's just one opinion. So you want to make sure, I want to make sure that all these tapes are down on the surface and it's nice and smooth. So what I'm going to do, I get out of work at 2:30 in the afternoon. So tomorrow, when I get home from work, I'm going to check this out and see what for the painting of the stripes on any Frankenstrat, not just the Wolfgang body here, but any Frankenstrat that you may want to build as far as the 5150, the Bumblebee. That would be a cool one to do. Because first, the way I do it, I start out with a bare body like this. And then I would take certain pieces and lay them down on the body where I want it left bare. Okay, and then I would paint it yellow. Bumblebee yellow. Tape it off. All right, and then I'd paint it black. Peel the paint off, and there you have it. A Bumblebee, whatever style that you want as far as tape patterns are concerned and stuff like that. It's Bumblebee yellow, man. But anyway, there you have it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shut this camera off. I'm going to leave this, everything just the way it is. And when I come back tomorrow afternoon, I am going to flip the camera back on and I am going to show you exactly what tapes, before I even touch the tapes, I promise, before I even touch the tapes, I am going to show you what tapes outperform other tapes and also what tapes I would recommend personally through trial and error, what I would use. All right? So we'll see you tomorrow. You guys have a safe evening, and better yet, have a safe day tomorrow, and we will see you then. All right? Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. So here we are again, We're back as promised. It is Tuesday in the evening. Not quite the evening yet, but it's getting there. It's almost sunset. And surprisingly enough, every single tape performed well, from the yellow gaffer tape to even the frog tape. Which one of these tapes was I most likely to not use? Was the frog tape. Now, reason being, when I was doing my research trying to figure out how to do the stripes on my Frankenstrat, I see a lot of posts where the people said that the frog tape let the paint bleed under the edges, and it just didn't look right. So I opted not to use the frog tape. The tapes that I did use were the yellow gaffer tape. Reason why I use the yellow gaffer tape is when you rip it in half, it leaves a frayed edge on the one side of the tape. And if you look at some of the pictures, if you can dig some of the pictures up, I'll try to dig one up here and post it. But if you look at one of the sides, it looks frayed. The paint line looks a little frayed, and I got this from it's not my, I didn't come up with this idea, but Johnny B Guitars, he was talking about this, and he was showing some pictures, and I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now that he says that, you look at the pictures, like if you can dig some up from the Met or something like that, and if you can blow it up, one side of the tape line is frayed. Go figure. I didn't know. But this is a good tape to use for it, and it said that he did use gaffer tape. The other tape that I used was the 2-inch painter's tape. The reason why I used that, it was very easy to tear. For instance, if you needed just to tear a strip of the tape, you just take it and you just tear it just like that, and it leaves a pretty good piece of tape that you can use for maybe like the edge of the guitar or something like that, where you don't want the paint. And I thought that was really the idea. So that's what I did on my Frankenstrat, on the butt end of the guitar. There's places where it's the paint is wore off, and this is what I used to create that effect going around there, using pieces of, strips of tape like this and going around the butt end of the guitar. So that was a really cool thing to do. I did not use the black duct tape, and for a reason being, I just did not use it because I don't think I even had this, but now I do, so I mean, it could be something I could use, but that stuck really well. The half-inch gaffer tape stuck really well. I thought a lot of these tapes would be like lifted up from the body of the guitar. None of them. The 1/8 inch painter's tape, that's down. even the frog tape that I was so hesitant to use on my Frankenstrat, that's down. I mean, this tape right here, that's over the pickup pockets, that's been there for quite a while. So I would, I would say, yeah, that's going to be up. It still comes up. But anyway, all these tapes performed well. Which ones would I recommend? All of them. I would recommend using all of them. That way you got more tools in your toolbox to relic your guitar. And this just isn't for the Frankenstrat. This can be used on any type of relic that you're going to build. This technique that I used, as far as using the 2-inch painter's tape, tearing it in strips and stuff, that was the easiest to do. I would recommend doing it with some of the other tapes, but with the 2-inch painter's tape, I highly recommend that technique. The 2-inch gaffer tape here, that performs really well and performed really well on my guitar. And it's easy to tear. So you can make your strips of lines, or make your lines on your guitar and make them straight and look nice. The duct tape, that held well. I mean, that I wouldn't count that out. You can use that for something. The 1/2-inch gaffer, yes. The 1/4-inch, or the 1/8-inch painter's tape. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot the little old 1/8-inch. Let's see, what was this, the 1/8-inch? Yes, this is the 1/8-inch pinstriping tape that I completely forgot. But you know what? I'm going to give that a pass because I think that probably would have stuck just as well. But all these other tapes, I would say yes to. Go ahead and use them. They stuck overnight until just a few minutes ago when I came on. And they're still there. I'd give them all a pass. I'd say use them and have fun. We will see you in the next one. I hope you have a great rest of your week. All right? Take care. Be safe. See you later.